Alright guys, hope you're doing well today. Welcome to another video of working some 164 die casts. I want to do something as best as I can on the camera today. One of the hardest things that I do is to put this front piece across the nose of this Mustang. So I'm going to try that, and we're gonna try to video it. It's a pain in the butt. I'm just going to tell you. This one wasn't as bad, but that's the result that I'm kind of looking for on that Pertec car. And I worked this the other day, putting this, this big piece across the front of that, and I'm making another one like that. But I also had to piece a number of the decals together around there. If I can get this to kind of focus on that, if you can see it. Right around here there's just a handful of the headlight piece and everything kind of being patched together to cover up what's behind. Kind of the same thing on this side. Got a couple small pieces in here, just because there was a little blue showing through. But it's not an easy thing to do. It's probably one of the hardest things that I do as a custom die cast maker. All right, so let's first of all, this piece is too big, so I've got to trim it down. And the way this piece comes is I don't want it to go above that blue line right there, which is the this hood piece. I don't want it up above here. I need it back here. So I've got to make sure that I trim that back a little bit. And bringing it down here, like I've said before, I'm not trying to get this thing to cover here. I mean, it's going to be super hard. So I don't do that. I pre-paint here, and then I raise this up, and I get a little bit down here on this area. But mostly I'm trying to get this full front covered here across there. So I am going to go above this where the headlight goes just a little bit, or to the headlight area just a little bit, because I'm gonna have other pieces that I'm gonna put in there for that area later. So just trying to eye this up here. Actually, let me look how this looks across here. If it's a little too long, I'll trim it. That doesn't look too bad. I'll just trim a little bit off. I can trim it later after I get it wet and go to put it on, but I really don't like to do that at all. So I'm just going to trim about yay much. And I'm going to raise it up around the front here. You can see this. Let's see if I can do that. And if I get that down there, it's not gonna go up above beyond that line. So alright, let's get this in the water and we'll get started letting that soak there for a few minutes. And I'm definitely gonna need this micro sole. So while it's sitting there, oops, sorry about that. I've got these 2 Pertec cars done for you, Terry. I've got to just put a couple more coats of sealer on it, and they'll be shipped. I'll probably ship those 2 tomorrow. I bought a few of these. I was at Walmart looking around for some other things, and I bought a few of these cars at Walmart. They're what, $4.94 in the little blister packs. You can see they're just not, I don't know, just the quality of these cars. See that rivet, how it's all messed up. That'll be fun drilling that out. But this is a 2020 Chevy. 2020 Chevy here. Another 2020 Chevy. So these are all $5. And I can make Matt Kenseth cars with each of these. And so that's kind of my plan to do that. And then this is a 2020 Ford Mustang. I can make another, Corey LaJoie Trump car with that. So for $5, it's tempting to buy those as donor cars. My problem is they come in the blister packs, and the blister packs are pretty much, in my mind, they're really reusable. You rip them up. So I miss out on getting these boxes. I really like the boxes. But when you buy a box, right, you're paying at least $7, $8, sometimes $9 for cars as donor cars. And so it's a little bit more expensive to buy the boxed version than it is the blister pack version. So when I'm making some cars that I already have, like some cases for or whatever, I can buy these, and I just throw out the blister packs, and we'll make those with 2020 decals and sell them in the cases I have, or keep them for my own collection. Let's see. I've JB Weld last night. All of these cars here, there's like 6 of them. A couple of the Michael Annette cars that are, these are 2018. This Pilot Flying J. I've got a couple of these Principal ones, which I found out I cannot find this car actually driven on the track. It just says Principal as the main sponsor, blue, 2018. Pato sells the decals, but I can't find that he actually drove this car on the track. So this must be like a paint scheme that they thought about driving, but never came through or whatever. But I've got a couple of those in the works. And then, of course, I've got the Matt Kenseth. I'm doing a 2011 Crown Royal car. So that's the Purplicious, I think is the tester's color. Really love that metallic purple. It's a perfect match to the Matt Kenseth Crown Royal schemes, and it's just a really nice finish when you get the decals on it. It just really pops, and I really like that about that paint. And then I decided to try this Copper Rose metallic paint, and I'm going to, well, I've already done it, but I painted this other 2011 Matt Kenseth Crown Royal car that color. So I think it came out really well. I'm real happy with the way that the paint is delivered from the paint can. It's a really a nice spray. It puts it on very evenly, and so yeah, this is how it turned out. So I'm going to make this into a special 2011 Matt Kenseth Crown Royal car. I've never used this Copper Rose paint before, and again, the proceeds will go to my daughter's for her 15th birthday, and so she's. I showed this to her. I think I showed it to her yesterday before I put the JB Weld on it and put it all back together, and she was like, "Oh, that looks nice." So she's looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be another few days before I actually get to that car. So, so yeah. So then I've got a couple more for MR, the Ryan Newman Wellen paint scheme, and then the Truex. I think it's his last ride that he drove. Yeah, his last ride car in 2018 for Furniture Row Racing. So I'm going to make that. And just a little quick show of the board. Why is this not going straight? Yeah. So as you can see the board there. Yeah, my daughter was down here goofing around. So I got those two at the top done. And then I'm working all the others that are there. And when I get some room, I'll get that Kaz Grala 2018 on there. I was looking yesterday for that 2018. It's actually a Mustang, Xfinity Mustang, the Kaz Grala car. And I'm like looking through all my donor cars, and I don't have any Mustangs, 2017, 2018, 2019 Mustangs that were the Xfinity cars. I have a couple that are back like 2014. And I decided, you know what, I'm that's a little too old, so I'm going to save those for another car, and I'll buy a couple new ones. So I bought, I think I bought like 6 cars yesterday on eBay. They were, I think, $7 a piece. 2018 Mustangs. So I'll use those when they come in later this week, maybe Friday or Saturday, and I'll use those to work the Kaz Grala car. So I just took a little bit of this microsole on my paintbrush here, and I'm kind of just tapping this piece here just to get it mixed in a little bit, soften up the decal a little bit more. And I'm just going to get a little bit here. Just a little bit, and I'm going to put it across this front to get this area wet. Just a little bit there. And I'll try to get this going as much as I can in the next 16 minutes as my video time runs out. But you really got to work this, and so I'll show you here. Okay. It looks like it's far enough to where I've got it stretched over both sides. And see how it kind of wants to come up. Every time you've got this side down, but then every time you go to press in the middle, it tries to pull that side up again. So I try to hold that in place there with my thumb. I just got to keep working out the lines, working out the crinkles in here. I don't really care about this top just yet. And I use that microsole on the decal, and I used it on the diecast body. So there's a fair amount of that softening agent there. And I've got to be careful, because when this gets super soft, which it is right now, it takes a minute or two to work its way into the decal. This decal is very soft and it's easily ripped. So you kind of have to work this very carefully. I'm not really pushing that hard. Well, I'm pushing, but I don't want to push and pull or go the other way, to where it could be ripped. So I may push without sliding it left or right. So you just have to be careful. You rip it and you got a mess on your hands. So that's just one of the dangers of working with the micro sole. Now I can feel it's super soft, so I'm just going to get some water here. Because it was kind of, I could feel it like grabbing the brush. The brush wasn't moving softly across it. And if I were to do this, it would have ripped for sure. So, and I'll be honest, as I'm talking through doing this, kind of speaking what comes to my mind as I'm working on this. Hope it's not too distracting, but if it rips over here, that's okay, because I can patch this. If it rips down here, it's a little bit different, because it's down lower, and so I want to kind of keep it from ripping. And I know some of this area will be covered by the by this, right? So some of that black is going to cover. But again, I'm trying to get all these little crinkles out of the decal. And I will be honest, sometimes I'll just let it sit. I'll walk away at this point. I'll walk away and let it sit, and I'll come back later and try to work it. But as you can see, it's still got those little ribs in there that I'm trying to get out. So I'll just kind of go back and forth on this piece here. I see a little area there. And I want to try to get this and be very careful with that. So I had a little wrinkle there. Okay. If this won't tuck here, I'll get some microsole and put it here, but I want that to tuck up underneath there pretty nicely. And I know some people will say, and again, I'll say this with the mindset of to each their own. People, make diecast the way they want to make diecast. But this is why, I like to put the car together before I put the decals on. It's not difficult to get this to wrap underneath the wheel well while the car has been reassembled. I got a brush here, and I got the microsole agent if I need it to get this to wrap, and so I can get it. I get access here pretty easily. Sure, if the car wasn't, if this wasn't here, it might be a little bit easier to do it, but it's not impossible, as you can see. Alright, so that's not too bad. Let's look at this side here. Alright, I'll use a little bit of this on this side so show you what happens. So I want to get it on here, but also want to get it kind of behind, so that if I get it on the diecast body there, it'll kind of pull it towards that. I watch my finger on the other side, bumping up against it. Just keep rubbing this across here to get it to, I like how it's tucked into this corner. That's one of the hardest things, is getting that decal tucked into that corner right there, staying in there. Microsole really helps with that. Taking a drink of my tea in my Steelers cup. Right now, the only undefeated team in the NFL. Kind of exciting. 6-0. They beat the Titans yesterday in a close game. So, yeah, that's kind of my Sunday. My Sunday is, I won't say pretty lazy, but I get up, do my regular morning routine, and then go to church, have lunch, watch football. That's pretty much what I do. Kids do their thing, whether they got homework to do or they're just kind of playing video games or, hanging out. My wife takes a nap. I'm watching football. So I usually don't do a whole lot of work on cars on Sundays. I'll watch football and we'll have some family time, just kind of hanging out, talking, and sometimes we'll go out for lunch, after church, and sit down at a restaurant and just have some good family time. No TV, no computers, no phones, we just, like it used to be. I have to admit, whenever I take a break from technology, I'm blessed. Usually when I take a break from technology, I'm either exercising or I'm, working on cars or work itself. But it's good to get up and move and just, I don't know, just not necessarily be influenced by technology all the time. So yeah. Alright, I got a few minutes left, so I think I've got that sufficiently in place. There's still some wrinkles there, but they'll work their way out as I continue to go across here, and you know, press this into place. But now I've got this area up here on the top. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll take my scissors and just cut like a little slit there. Because what happens is, going around those curves, it will it'll kind of, you know, just naturally get a curve in it, and get a crease in it. I'm sorry, not a curve, but a crease. So if I put just a little cut in there, it'll help it kind of fold over on itself ever so slightly. And of course I get my thumb in there, push this in. But you can see how long it takes, you know, this, working this piece in, trying to get the little creases out, and now it just takes a while. It takes a good amount of work to get it to look nice, and I'm running out of time, but I'm not, you know, I'm not done yet. I'm running out of time on the video, but it's definitely a one of the hardest things and time-consuming things that I do. Curious what you guys that make cars do. What you think is the hardest part of making custom die-casts. But to me, it's got to be this type of, well, first this type of nose with the levels that are in here, and then, you know, these wrapped style decals. For those of you guys that don't make these cars, and that's one of the things with these videos, I'm trying to show you the amount of work that goes into them. The decals don't just, you know, jump off the paper and jump on the car. There's definitely a good amount of effort and skill that it takes to do it, and you can see how time consuming just this front nose of this car is. And yeah. So that's pretty much it. I'm running out of time, guys. I'm going to keep working this, but hope you have a blessed day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you and talk to you in the next video.